telling me Saturday.
Well, no, we didn't know.
I know, I'm saying like something was telling me Saturday.
Let's go to the box fast.
Get a lot of steam in there. Always taking trips someplace. It's always like 2 trips a year to Vegas.
First and foremost, I want to begin today by recognizing all those among us who have been part of the great brotherhood and sisterhood that we call the U.S. military. Our veterans, active duty service member, guardsmen, and reservists, it is your sacrifice and your service that has kept our country safe and free. No matter which branch you served in, whatever your job path or however many years you served, raising your hand and committing yourself to service in the military was a brave and a selfless act, one that resulted in few guarantees of where you will be assigned, whether and where you might deploy, and in some cases, if you would return home in one piece or at all. If you are able, please stand to be recognized. Of the 11th month, the fighting of World War I ended in 1918. Due to the conclusion of the war to end all wars, so it was said, November 11th became universally recognized as a day of celebration. The day was originally declared Armistice Day, 8 years after the end of World War I, and honored only veterans of that war. Then in 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, it was renamed Veterans Day, to honor all veterans who served America and defended her democracy. So today we honor all of our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for our freedom. Those men and women who were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and they answered it. They left their families, their homes, their lives, not for recognition or fame or even the honor we bestow upon them today. They fought to protect our country and to maintain our way of life. To all the veterans in attendance today, I wish you the happiest and the best of Veterans Days. Thank you so much for your service. Hudson Valley Alumni Guard, present colors.
Guard, right shoulder, arch.
By the dawn's early light, was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright star through the for the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets ring glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through
Jocelyn sing that. You get better every time I hear it, I swear. So can you give her another round of applause? That was amazing. Today we have Pastor Michael Gracioso giving our invocation for us today. Please welcome Pastor Michael Gracioso up.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for these men and women that serve, that protect our freedoms. We honor them. We ask you to bless them, keep them. And Lord, we just thank you for this great nation and the men and women that protect it. In your name we pray. Amen.
Hudson Valley Alumni Guard, attire, and colors.
Guard. Order. Arm. Arm tie. Arm. Forward. Arm.
Please give a round of applause and welcome Supervisor Baisley.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Arlington section of town of Poughkeepsie. We're lucky and blessed today. We're lucky and blessed today to have such a beautiful day to come out and honor our veterans. And just so everybody remembers, the vets that are here today serve. They serve for a purpose. We have safe borders today due to these young men and women that went to war for us in different times, different battlefields, in different countries. But please don't forget the vets that we have now that are serving. Without the ones that are serving today, our borders probably wouldn't be as safe as they are, whether in the United States, overseas, on a ship somewhere where we really don't know where they are. They're men and women we want to keep in our hearts and our souls and remember them every day going forward, because their safety is always should be our top priority. Without them, we wouldn't all be standing here today. I would never have the chance to have a position that I have, because we don't know where our freedom was standing if it wasn't for all you men and women that serve for us. So I'd love to thank you all for doing what you did. God bless us all. God bless our country.
I'd like to welcome up a man that needs no introduction, our county executive, Marcus Molinaro.
Good morning to all of you. It was 1 year after the end of combat in World War I that President Wilson announced the establishment of what was then Armistice Day. It was to acknowledge at the time the war to end all wars. I don't know that, I trust they believed it at the time, but it seemed like an accomplishment that was well beyond human power. At that time, the declaration of Armistice Days was meant to provide America the ability to recognize with solemn pride the service and sacrifice those who had mobilized across the country in the First World War, and to provide this country an opportunity to show her sympathy for justice and peace. After World War II and the combat in Korea, in 1954, Armistice Day became Veterans Day. In 1968, strangely, in an act only Congress could think of, America moved Veterans Day to the last Monday of October. And in 1975, having realized that it had made a horrible mistake, thanks to the mobilization of Americans across the country, Veterans Day was returned to November 11th. And from that day forward, Americans all across this country have come together to recognize the patriotism, the love of country, and the service of America's veterans. The sacrifice that each has made from every corner of our country in every generation to uphold and serve the common good. Today is a holiday that this country has held dear and recognizes with great pride, because amongst us are America's heroes. Now, I'm reminded that I have 4 children. It's not hard to forget that I have 4 children. One of them One of them will be a year old in a week. And I'm reminded that among the very first words we teach our kids are please and thank you. In fact, we repeat it so often it just becomes somewhat of a repetitive thing. I don't know that we truly teach our kids the meaning of thanks. And that merely extending thank you isn't good enough. The men and women who assembled here today who have served this country and those across the globe, both who have served and continue in service, deserve more than 2 words repeated. They deserve our deepest gratitude. And at the heart of those 2 very simple words is a deep sense of appreciation for that which maybe we couldn't do ourselves. And so today isn't merely about saying thank you. It is about, through word and action, extending our gratitude and appreciation as a community and as a nation. Dutchess County recently achieved functional zero when it comes to veterans homelessness. That is a term only the federal bureaucracy could come up with. Functionally zero. That doesn't mean that there are people who have served that aren't homeless. It just means that we can stop counting. That isn't good enough. And so on this Veterans Day, and I know that the Division of Veteran Services and all those who work in county government want to do more. I say with our partners, we end veterans homelessness. End it. Not functionally zero, but zero. And woman who has served this country when they come home should have a home of their own. And beyond that, we as a county and as a nation ought to ensure that everyone who returns home has access, if they need it, to mental health and addiction services. Let no man or woman languish without support from their peers. And that is a challenge not only for us, but for our state. And let me end with one more challenge on this Veterans Day. No serviceman, no servicewoman who comes home should have to fight to find a job. Every veteran in America should have access to employment. They've earned their place in line, and they've earned the respect and opportunity to achieve a paycheck. Let those be the challenges we fulfill as we work through our words and our deeds to show our appreciation to these great American heroes. May God bless them and the United States of America.
At this time, County Executive Mark Molinaro and Jacqueline Ingram will take Dutchess County wreath and present it and place it upon the Dutchess County War Memorial. Has come to show respect, that the deceased veteran have not been forgotten, and to rekindle the memories of the past.
Made of many kinds of things, and some of those things are loyalty, trustworthiness, kindness, and they are confident and loving. Some people just say they think veterans are nice, but you actually mean it, and that's what this passage is about. Fighting for us is an amazing thing. I learned that veterans aren't just normal people. They're beautiful people, and learned that as I live on. I see more and more things veterans do for us. I also learned veterans are doing it for not for themselves, but they are doing it for us and our families and our communities. Some facts I learned. Fact 1, November 11th, we celebrate, we put our flags up. Fact number 2, There's a ceremony held every year at Arlington National Cemetery. The President gives a speech and veterans get honored. Fact number 3, major cities like here have parades to celebrate Veterans Day. Fact 4,